So let's take you through the starting order for the pre-final for Micromax, which will take place over 10 minutes plus 2 additional laps. After time qualifying this morning, it was the number 25 of Niki Naruhito Tomase that took pole position by over 3.5 tenths of a second, ahead of Ryan Rampadarath in the number 32. Dimitar Lazarov and Conor Heufer, who are the two top drivers in the championship in terms of points so far, round out row number 2. Row 3, it's an all-Belgian affair, courtesy of the number 13 of Matthias Clever and the number 9 of Tristan Abeels. Matthias Clever is the top rookie after qualifying. Bruce Chirino and Noah Stehauder round out row 4, with Joshua Lorison and Matthias Bollage rounding out the 10-strong grid. Now, here at Circuit de Landsard, there will be a slightly different way in which we will start the formation. They will effectively come through turn number 8 and turn left instead of turning right to go into the tram lines and get themselves ready. So the action underneath the sunshine here, just a stone's throw from Eindhoven Airport, is about to get underway. The drivers now start to close in as they come through turn 4. As we have got one of the drivers running a little bit slow coming out of turn number 1. So red lights are on the starting gantry for the first time today. Get yourselves ready. Revs rise. Lights are on. Lights are out as the pre-final for Micromax gets underway as they run through into turn number 1 for the first time. And it's a long, long run down into turn number 2 at the edge of the triangle. One of the drivers runs a little bit deep into the braking zone into turn number 2. But it's Niki Naruhito Tomase that leads the way as they head into turn number 4. Dimitar Lazarov has moved up into 3rd place, but we have had someone going slightly wide out of turn 4 as Ryan Rampadarath has the 2 Germans on the Praga chassis right on his back bumper going through the chicane into turn 8, now into affectionately this is the first half of the what they like to call Mickey Mouse here at Circuit de Landsard. It is like 2 big cartoon style ears as they will now come out of the final corner, turn number 14, as they accelerate across the line. Naruhito Tomase leads the way after the opening lap by nearly 7.5 tenths of a second. Ahead of Ryan Rampadarath, Dimitar Lazarov rounds out the top 3. Could be the fact that Conor Haufer's got through at turn 2. And I don't think that that hasn't been the case, but they've got Matthias Clever with the TB Netherlands, with the TB kart squad on the number 13, making it a 4-kart scrap for 2nd position, as Niki Naruhito Tomase looks to expand that gap. And now Rampadarath and Lazarov are pulling away from Conor Haufer. And it's nip and tuck between 2nd and 3rd place as they will head through turn number 13 into 14 and start accelerating. It's a very short start-finish straight here at Landsard as the gap now... Oh, dive bomb up the inside by Conor Haufer through on Ryan Rampadarath to get through for 2nd place. Just teed up the momentum, and now that's allowed Dimitar Lazarov to close on in along with Matthias Clever. Tristan Abeels, Bruce Chirino, Joshua Lorison, Noah Stehauder and Matthias Bollage round out the 10 strong drivers. But Niki Naruhito Tomase looks to expand that gap. But keep your eyes on Conor Haufer, who will start pulling away from Ryan Rampadarath as they head through the chicane. Haufer will try and move that Praga chassis as far forward as he can and close that gap. It was just over a second after the previous tour on this lap. Lap 2 in the books, 1.7 seconds. Niki Naruhito Tomase has opened up that gap significantly. And Ryan Rampadarath is still keeping with. Conor Haufer is being chased down by Dimitar Lazarov as they now head into turn number 3. Lazarov just waiting for the opportunity to present itself. If there's a slight unforced error from the number 32 from SP Motorsports, Lazarov will be through into the chicane again. It's just, this is a circuit that I've very much learnt over the last day since I arrived here yesterday morning. That is a circuit where you don't really have much chance to take a little bit of a respite, even through turn one, as they're going through now. 1.8 seconds is the lead at the minute, and there is the move that Lazarov has been waiting for. Looks up the inside of Rampadarath, who covers off nicely. Lazarov actually backed out of that ever so slightly and decided, well, you know what? Look, we've got 6 minutes and 40 seconds, plus an additional 2 laps to go. I'm going to wait until we get towards the end of the race until, or unless, there is a chance for me to get through. For those who are watching on the Chrono Karting YouTube channel, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And if you haven't subscribed, well, you can't interact with the chat. We will give people a shout out over the course of the stream throughout the day. Oh, bit untidy there from Lazarov going into the second part of the Mickey Mouse section here at Landsard, and loses all that momentum, having kept Ryan Rampadarath very, very honest indeed. As they make their way through turn number 2. It's effectively what I've affectionately called it, the Bermuda Triangle of karting. We had a lot of rainfall yesterday afternoon at around about 4 o'clock, and then there was a lot of mist swirling on the tarmac. So I went, well, hang on, it's karting's equivalent of the Bermuda Triangle. There's mist, you might get lost, you might not be found ever again. Moment there for Connor Halfer. Loses second, and not only that, loses third. Big problem there for Connor Halfer. I think might have just lost it under braking, or may have just had a little bit of a drama. Unforced error allows Rampadarath and Lazarov to get through for second and third. Coming up to halfway on the timer, counting down before we then go on to 2 laps remaining. Rampadarath defending from Lazarov through turn 2. Lazarov looking to try and get the slipstream. Looks to the outside through at turn 3 to get the crossover. And Rampadarath just holds station on the racing line. Did not deviate from it. Hello RGP Racing with the big-eyed emojis on the YouTube chat. And if you are watching and subscribed to the channel, don't forget to show your support for who you're rooting for this week here at Circuit de Landsard. And a big thank you to the circuit for providing us with not just one, but it's going to be a second meeting later on this year on the 15th of September for us to host our midway point of the championship year here for 2024. Nearly 3 seconds is the advantage for Nicky Naruhito Tomase. Rampadarath has now got the number 69 of Dimitar Lazarov and the number 78, Connor Halfer, right with him. Rampadarath has just kept the blinkers on. Not really looked behind to see what's happening with the 2 that are chasing him down. So the air temperature has started to increase. We were 15 degrees. Now it's 18 degrees. Humidity's dropped to 77%. The wind is still around about its east-southeasterly wind of around 9 kilometers an hour. Cloud cover is reducing. But nice little battle a bit further back. That's Bruce Chirino in the number 83, battling away with Tristan Abeels and Noah Stehauder. That's for 6th on the road. And Chirino holds his line in the CRG. So really, really close battling up and down the order. As, oh, there's a little bit of a dive there from Noah Stehauder. Oh, Tristan Abeels has to run wide to avoid. That was through turn 4. But still, the battle for second place is being held on to. And look at the defensive resolve from Ryan Rampadarath, even though he might be 3.15 seconds behind Nicky Naruhito Tomase, who's just put in a new fastest lap. He's still keeping Lazarov and Halfer at bay. Same with Bruce Chirino. Tristan Abeels and Noah Stehauder. This is still a 3-way scrap over 6th place. as they make their way through turn number 2. And Chirino goes defensive into 3. Pulls to the right-hand side of that stretch of tarmac as again Stehauder looks for the move up the inside through at turn number 4. And this time makes the move stick on Tristan Abils and gets up to P7. And Jarno in chat saying, what are your predictions, Alex? Well, at the moment, I don't have any predictions because I'm not one of those people that does that. However, the battle for second has now become a 2-horse race because Ryan Rampadarath and Dimitar Lazarov have pulled away from Conor Halford to the tune of about 0.8 of a second. So there's been a mistake from Halford at some point over the previous lap of this 1,050-metre circuit. But with 1:35 still to go, it's anyone's guess what might happen between these two drivers here. Can Conor Halford close that gap? Because it might look like it's starting to expand ever so slightly. I did notice that Ryan Rampadarath was sideways through the first of the two Mickey Mouse Ear parts of the circuit, as we have got blue flags being waved. And that was at the 33 of Matthias Bolage on the CRG. But, oh, well, Rampadarath has just set a new fastest lap with a minute to go. Lazarov is right on his rear bumper as they go through turn number 2 here on lap number 11. So, Matthias Bolage just staying out of the way. Bruce Chirino, unfortunately, has dropped down into 9th position, I'm afraid. So that means that Noah Stehauder is running 6th ahead of Tristan Abils and Joshua Lorison. Lorison has moved up 1 place. Stehauder, the biggest gainer so far. The top 5 has pretty much remained as it has done from the start of the race. As we go on to our 3 laps to go, including this one. And what's more, Rampadarath is literally lighting up the timing screens purple. New fastest lap, gap down to 2.6 seconds. And is bringing Lazarov along for the ride. Timer has expired. 2 laps to go after this one. We're currently on lap number 12 out of 14. And Nicky Naruhito Tomasi might not have the fastest lap, but has managed to stretch a convincing advantage in this early stage of the competition, and will provisionally put the number 25 on pole for the final later on today. Their final will be at around about 3 o'clock local time. So 2 to go. Naruhito Tomasi, 2.568 seconds up the road from the battling duo of Ryan Rampadarath and Dimitar Lazarov. That has not faded into obscurity. It has been pretty much burning bright red hot like lava in front of us all the way through this race. They make their way through turn number 4 for the penultimate time. Into the chicane they go once again. Great work by Ryan Rampadarath just to hold his line, hold his nerve. And I know that family members will be watching away from the circuit, but it's going to be 1 lap to go. And so far, well, Nicky Naruhito Tomasi has led every single lap so far. Final lap underway. Lazarov, new fastest lap, 48.996 for the number 69 representing Germany as they go through into turn 2 for the final time of asking. And again, Lazarov trying to tee up that crossover. And even if you try to get that crossover through at turn number 3, it's going to put you out on the outside for turn 4. Gap is 2.4 seconds as Naruhito Tomasi makes his way through in towards turn number 8 for the final time. Just has been relatively unchallenged. On pace and also being on pole position, it gives you the distinct advantage. Out of the final corner, Nicky Naruhito Tomasi wins the Micromax pre-final, and it's going to be a run to the line. Ryan Rampadarath holds on to second by just over 0.16, ahead of Dimitar Lazarov, who rounds out the top 3 places. Conor Halford, Matthias Clever, well, the top 5 finished as they started. There were a couple of changes in between during parts of the race itself. Noah Stehauder started 8th, finished in 6th ahead of Tristan Abils, Joshua Lorison, Bruce Chirino and Matthias Bolage rounding out the 10 finishers, all getting through to the checkered after that one. But Nikki Naruhito Tomasi, the number 25, leads every single lap to take victory in the Micromax pre-final and puts himself on pole for the final later on today.